Legends, welcome back to another preseason team preview for the Ruck and Fringe podcast. This week we are doing the Brisbane Broncos, and to join me, look, can I say the better half of the Bumpout Podcast? It's the one and only Hayden. How are you, mate?
Good, man. You'd be incorrect. Adrian's the better half, I have to say. Better looking as well, better footy player, better knowledge. But really good, man. It's great to see you.
Mate, it's great to see you too. Sell yourself short there, mate. Your Brisbane Broncos, of course, the reigning premiers at the moment, heading into 2026. It's going to be an exciting year. But, mate, let's start off with the gains and losses for 2026. Now, there are a couple, as we were just looking up before. Do you want to run through a few of those for us?
Yeah, so the main gains for me, obviously physically, Grant Anderson from the Storm, Tom Duffy from the Cowboys, good depth in the halves. And then Orblix Taufa is another one that we just love, like that bit of dog. And I think that coincides with the losses. Kobe Hetherington off the bench. I think Orblix slots straight in. I was a big fan of Kobe Hetherington. I think a lot of Broncos fans overlooked his involvement. It's kind of like the credit Billy Walters was getting towards the end of the season. I think Orblix slots straight in. Another loss, Selwyn Cobbo, which I don't think is too much of a loss. They have a couple of the other ones like Madden and Smoothie who have also gone, which I think were just there for depth anyway. Bit of youth in Duffy is great. Anderson pushing for spots at the back, which I think today I saw Fox League. They had Anderson as the starting winger over Karapani, which I think is a bit of rage bait.
Wow.
Really don't think that. That's definitely got to be rage bait. They had to have something in there that people can talk about. And I think that's a bit unlucky for Karapani.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. The form he was in 2025, you can't deny him a spot. But, mate, speaking of 2025, yeah, mate, I think Karapani, that's his spot to lose for sure. Well, look, gains and losses, we've gone through them. There's 2 gains, 2 losses really for your team this year. But, mate, let's jump into a bit of our 2025 review for the Brisbane Broncos. Of course, finished the regular season in 3rd position, went on to win the grand final, which, as a Broncos man yourself, you must have been stoked with that. But, mate, pretty good season. If you look in terms of, the Broncos over the past couple of years, I think Madge Maguire has definitely been the big answer for them. And it was so good to see him take this side to a comp and to win it. I mean, in his first season at the club, it's pretty special.
Yeah, I think you have to be honest. It's a bit of a cheat code having the players that they have. Yeah. It's very similar this year to, I'd probably say, the Roosters. It look like they're over the salary cap. The Sharks have come together really nicely. And obviously Penrith as usual. It's just very lucky that it all came together at the right time. Like, it has to be luck. I was saying at the end of last year, like, we're basking in the glory, but we didn't play. I don't think we played as well. I don't think we'll be happy with the season as such. Like, coming into, I think it was round 12 on our podcast, we were talking about how the Broncos are going. And I said, it'll be us and Knights. It'll be for the wooden spoon if we don't pick it up. Like, we're not going to win another game. We're not going to win another game. So I think to end up how we were, Madge Maguire obviously coming in with a bunch of superstars. It's very similar to New South Wales and Queensland, very similar to Origin, very similar to rep level, like New Zealand, like you had. So to get us to win us the premiership, I think it's a lot of kudos goes to the coach, but how we back it up this year is what I'm really looking forward to. Like, I'm going to be happy about this win, the premiership win, for the next 5 years, but I want to see a bit of dynasty. I want to see the dynasty. I want to see the Penrith dynasty chat. Like, I want to see the growth of the players, the growth of the youth. That's what I want now. The expectations are past Walsh carrying the side. Like, who else is going to stand up with him?
Yeah, mate, you're exactly right, and I think that's what teams, are aiming to do now. Yeah, it's great to win 1, but it's better to win 2, 3, 4. It's been a long time between drinks for Broncos fans. Obviously, 2006 was their last grand final win, so amazing stuff there. And to come back the way you guys did, it was an incredible grand final. But just to round off their season in 2025, so they played 24 games, obviously, point differential of 172 and 36 competition points. So pretty good, finishing 4th in the top 4. I did say 3rd before, but that was the Dogs, as your good mate Adrian would have told you. But yeah, the Broncos finishing 4th on 36 competition points, mate. it's a credit to themselves. It's a very, very good season. Some incredible games that we witnessed from them as well. That prelim against Penrith was probably one of my favorite games from the Bronx. Just, outstanding stuff to get in the grind with Penrith and Penrith in big games. That's where you worry. Penrith in big games, they know how to win. And for the Broncos to get it done against them to make the grand final was incredible. But, mate, it was a big 2025 season. Hopefully for you guys, it's a bigger 2026 season. But, mate, let's jump into your bread and butter, my bread and butter, Supercoach and NRL Fantasy. Now, Supercoach for 2025, mate, it's looking good for the Bronx, as it does always. Of course, Supercoach actually opened up today, which is pretty exciting for those players. Mate, do you have any players you want to take us through that maybe on your mind, maybe some players you're thinking about buying, maybe a couple of cheapies or things like that?
Yeah. Specifically Broncos, or do you want any?
Yeah, give us Broncos for this one.
Yeah. Okay, let's go Broncos. It makes sense with the Broncos podcast we're doing. A lot of people are going away from the Reece Walsh chat, which is, I was saying to Adrian earlier today, are you happy to miss 300 points? Are you happy to miss it could be 400 points in the first 3 rounds? Like, I know you saved the trades. Are you happy to miss that? Because if you miss that boat, you're basically kissing goodbye top 1,000 straight away. You're not going to be able to make that back unless you've got another guy that everyone else will probably be on their radar already. The Payne Haas is the obvious lock. I think you just can't go past him. The players like the Orblix Taufa, maybe to make some cash. Willison, if he gets a starting spot, from confirming that starting spot maybe over Jensen. Now that we've seen a loss as well, Piakura go down today with the meniscus. He's out for 8 weeks. Ben Tolte maybe gets a spot as well. You could possibly put in there. But the big one for me is Payne Haas. And I think a little smoky again, Ezra Mann. I know Adrian's been against it. He has been against it because of the fluctuating upside. There's a lot of upside in Brisbane, but there's a lot of fluctuating upside. Who's going to put the points on this week? Is it going to be Renault with 100 points one week? Is he going to miss every kick the next week? Into Stags, who love showing up every 6 weeks. So you need I think Haas is the lock and Walsh is the worry.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a couple of prices here. I've just gone into the Supercoach app, and you're exactly right. Payne Haas at 852. He's definitely the lock for me. He's going to be in my front row no matter what, barring injury. Reece Walsh, as you said, he's 835K heading into this year. I really think you got to have him. Personally, I know, James Tedesco won Dally M and he plays for my Mighty Chooks, but I think Walsh is the number one fullback in the comp at the moment. Yeah,
I think unless you've got even if you've got if you want the young boys and you want to run, we saw Yongi last year. Everyone went with Yongi, but it didn't really work out. I think he made them cash, but he just wasn't getting the points and wasn't playing the type of game you need for Supercoach. And unless you're going to go two cheapies or 2 big boys and a cheapie, but who are you going to go this year? Like who's got that spot that isn't already proven? Are you going to risk Turbo?
Yeah, that's right.
Like Walsh is proven and he's coming into form. I think it's how he performs in the World Club Challenge. That will be telling. If he comes out again, and on paper, I know a lot of the Supercoach pages like yourself and like us could go through what he would have got in that game. If he gets another 100, if he gets a ton again, can you pass that type of money and those type of points? The top tier player.
No, I definitely can't. I can't. I think you got to have him, especially if he turns up again, for sure. Yeah.
He's just
mate, looking down the list a little bit. Yeah, sorry.
It's all right. He's just a stressful buy. That's the thing. That's the only thing that puts me off. Like, I end up with no fingernails. You don't enjoy the game. Like, especially as a Broncos fan, I already have supporting the club that is the most up and down side in the comp. But then you put with it Supercoach, and maybe you have a cheeky anytime in there as well. And Walsh he just stresses you out, man.
I know, mate. He can be so he can make 10 incredible plays and then he'll make 2 massive errors within your own half, and you're just like, oh, mate, here we go. But I completely agree with that. Moving down the list a little bit, Gehamat Shibasaki, I just love saying his name. He is 647K Katoni Staggs, 638. Paddy Carrigan, who a lot of people have had in the past, at 636K. He's pretty cheap at the moment. Ezra Mam, who you spoke about before, 585K. So if he's back to starting 5'8", that's very good for him. Moving down the list a little bit, we've had in the past Ben Hunt's been proven. He's 482K. You've obviously got Adam Reynolds, 633K. Grant Anderson, if he does land a wing spot, he's at 523K. I think he's still too expensive to probably, put in, and it's all based on job security. If he's not, in that spot over Karapani, or they're, week in, week out, however it works, I just think 523, a bit too expensive for me. If we're looking at some cheapies, obviously Corey Pakes was a great shout last year. Tom Duffy, if there is an injury to Adam Reynolds, maybe we see a Tom Duffy in there. Obviously, Ben Hunt's still around as well, but Tom Duffy at 235K could be a really, really good shout. And of course, the man you mentioned before, Tauti, but also Benjamin Takura. We saw him play a couple of games. He was really good. He's at 235K. So, if he could get a start, Takura, or take a spot, from Pia Cura on the bench, it'll be very, very good. But yeah, look, there are a few super coach players for this season. Of course, NRL Fantasy, we play as well. Cannot wait to get back into the season. Supercoach is open now. Get your teams in. Feel free to send them through to me. I'll have a look at them, tell you what's shit, what's not. So you definitely send them in. And again, we will have a comp running. There'll be some great prizes up for grabs from our good friends at SC Rings. All right, mate, let's jump into some players to watch for the 2026 season. Now, I think you're excited about this one, mate. Can you give me some players to watch for this year?
Well, the player to watch is obviously Reece Walsh. But if we're going to go away from Reece Walsh, Blake Mozer. There's a guy down at Penrith. There's a guy down at Penrith, Billy Scott. He's the next thing. That was after Harry Grant. It's at Melbourne. But Blake Mozer was heavily touted, as well as Kobe Black, who's now gone down to Raiders. But him and Black and Mozer were the two touted to be the future of the Broncos. And I think he's just got to have his shot. We've moved on Smoothie. Madden's not there anymore. The 14 spots cleared up. I love Pakes. I'm a huge fan of Pakes. He talked about mid-season last year how he just wanted to fight his way back into the squad. He was out of favour. He wasn't in the squad, it felt like, for 2 years. He fought his way back in, got married. Congratulations to the bloke. And then just kept the spot. Walter's out, just shorted up. But I think it's Mozer time.
Yeah, mate. He's been touted for a couple of years now. Last year, I actually had him in my super coach because there was a lot of talk. Was it going to be him? Was it going to be Pakes? Pakes won the spot. But, mate, you're exactly right. For me, a couple of players to watch. Obviously, we've seen Payne Haas and what he's done over a couple of years. I wouldn't say he's a player to watch. But for me, it's actually on your edges. I love the emergence of Jordan Ricky. I really love the bloke. I think what he's brought to this team, he's added some real steel on that edge. And I think, and he's a great ball runner. You talk of the likes of, Britton Nickero, who's probably one of the best ball runners in the comp. And then you look at someone like Jordan Ricky, who is he's going that same sort of direction and he's doing really well. Both Kiwi boys as well. So you get him over the origin period. So, he's a fantastic player, Jordan Ricky. He's one to watch for this season, but also a man who I feel like might have been a bit forgotten. And he's one that I touted for a big 2025 and it was pretty good, but Katoni Staggs. I think Katoni Staggs is in for a massive 2026. I think he is back. He looks fit. And I think watch out if you're an opposition fan like myself. I think Katoni Staggs is in for a huge season.
Yeah, we all know Katoni loves a big matchup. He loves the momentum game. He loves a game-changing play. And we have the blueprint now. We have the blueprint as a team. We have a blueprint as players. The halves, it's an easy direction where we're going. It's early ball to Man, early ball to Katoni, early ball to Walsh. It's really not that difficult. Kick yourselves into a good area. Give it to the men to just go haywire. Beat his man. He's looking up at all game. I love the mentality of, I've got you. He's looking straight at his face going, give me the ball. I'll run over you. I'll run through you. Yeah. It's just simple. And I love it. Because when the battle, I think there was a really good battle with Robert Toya at one stage as well, depending on injuries as well. Because Shibasaki, I think, was out with, I think he was late on the bus. So I think that's going to give a chance to Dean Mariner. I really love Dean Mariner. I think he's another one, underrated. The play that he had, just the gameplay and the influence he had for Samoa it's underrated. It's underrated. Who scored that winning try? Yeah. It was the winning try against Penrith in the corner. That Walsh short side play takes on a few defenders, bounce, pinball.
Yeah, it was Mariner. I think it was Mariner.
Mariner on the right wing, straight over. Like, it's underrated. He just doesn't get recognised. And I was his biggest critic too. Throughout the season, I thought he won't get back in. There's no way. Arthurs has got him, and then he got another opportunity. And I think he's pushing Shibasaki for a centre spot. But that's just that's another conversation for another day.
Look, I think Matt had such a good year last year that it's going to be so hard to. He'll get first crack, but you're exactly right. I think what Mariner brings is just he's a big body, he's agile, he's quick. You know, he brings everything that you want as a footballer. So, mate, it's a great shout there, mate. Let's talk ladder finish now. 2026, it's already the year of the horse. So, you know, big things are coming. But, mate, where do you see the Broncos finishing in 2026?
No bias. Bias aside, I'm going to say if it has to be top four. It's minimum of top four. The draw looks pretty good. We barely leave Queensland. I think it's going to be second. I think we're going to be second. I think there may be a surprise from a Parramatta, a Rabbitohs, a Roosters, a Penrith, a Sharks. Like, I can just see it depends on the injuries. We may get an injury here and there. The halves, we know, love a hamstring. And Walsh loves an on and off game. So I think we might not be up all season. And it could be a second or first spot, or even a 6 or 7. It just really depends, and that wasn't on purpose either. And that really depends on the form and the fluctuating attack. I think that's something that we're going to be looking at. But if I'm going to lock in, second.
Mate, I love it. I've actually got them second as well, which is huge. I just think you haven't really lost anyone from 2025. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you've lost Hetherington from that team, but the team is still the same. Your big thing, as you said, is injuries. If you lose a Reynolds or a Hunt, you know, how do they cope? How does Mam cope with a young half, with a Duffy, or let's say a Mozart gets brought in at half, or, you know, whatever it is, whatever way they go, but how does he cope with that? So the big thing will be injuries. I've got them second. I've got them top four as well. My top four is actually got a couple of those teams you mentioned before, but I don't have Melbourne in there. I think they may drop out this year. My top four is looking a bit at the moment like Penrith, Broncos, Roosters, Sharks is my top four at the moment. I just feel that four teams, I think Penrith are definitely on the rebound in 2026, as much as I hate to say that, living in the area. But, I think Broncos second is a fantastic shout, mate.
Yeah, I do think it relies on just not Reece Walsh's attack, but the possibility of him going down and filling the space. Because it's not just his attacking prowess, but it's the defensive positioning, it's the chat and defense, the live wire, putting the defense in two minds. But if he goes down, who do you put there? Cobbo's gone. Exactly. Anderson's not a fullback. Staggs is not a fullback. Shibasaki, Karapani. The only one you'd probably go, maybe Arthurs. Even then, he struggled at the back. I don't see. I think we lost the young boy again, the Indigenous young fullback that we had. I think he's gone to the Rabbitohs. Just his name escapes me right now. He was touted as he come down from Dolphins, I think, with Ben Tettle. So if Walsh goes down, it's not about how we get points. It's about who plays fullback.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think, and obviously, like, you look at the origin period, you know, he's probably going to play for Queensland if he's in the form of his life like he was last year. So, yeah, look, it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Mate, before we finish up, we've got our last words. What are the last words you want to give the Broncos fans? Fire them up for this season, mate.
Last words. Broncos fans, stay positive, stay optimistic. We won in 2025. All we need to do is stay consistent, and I can't see why we can't win again this year.
Mate, very, very well said. My last words is, look, it's year of the horse. I never want to see an injury. I hope Broncos do well, but up the chooks. Mate, as always, it is a pleasure having you on. Don't forget to check out our great friends at the Corner Post. Of course, you guys know them very well as well. Head over to the Corner Post, Westfield, Liverpool. Check them out today. The best sports store going around for all your sporting needs. But until next time, I'm the Prophet. That's Hayden. Wherever you are, be good.